A dangerous spark. Coronation Street's Sally Carman opens up about Abby's forbidden feelings for Carl. In the turbulent world of Coronation Street, few characters have had as chaotic and emotionally raw a journey as Abby Webster. From addiction struggles to redemption arcs, grief, love, and betrayal, Abby's path has been anything but straightforward. Now, as she faces a new and emotionally charged dilemma, actress Sally Carman sheds light on the inner workings of her character's heart, and the complicated triangle forming between Abby, her husband Kevin, and the dangerously charming Carl Webster. The setting is already ripe with drama. Kevin Webster is undergoing treatment for cancer. Debbie Webster is grappling with early-onset dementia. Amid these deeply human crises, Corey writers have thrown a wildcard into the mix: Carl, Debbie's estranged husband, who seems to exude danger, confidence, and magnetism in equal measure. And Abby, struggling to keep her balance, finds herself slowly slipping toward temptation. The temptation begins. It all started with a simple yet electric encounter in the supermarket car park, an accidental flirtation that sparked something primal in Abby. It was the kind of chemistry that couldn't be ignored, a sudden jolt of energy that stirred something deep in her. Carl, ever the opportunist, noticed it too. Since then, he's been hovering in the background, sniffing around his sister-in-law, attempting to fan the flames of desire into a full-blown affair. But this isn't just about sex. As Sally Carman reveals in her interview with Inside Soap, the story unfolding is steeped in emotional danger and moral complexity. It's difficult with Abby because she's an addict, Sally explains. She's aware of how easily she can get addicted to anything: people, chaos, excitement. She's really trying to do the right thing, despite wanting to throw herself at this man who's making her feel alive again. A war between heart and habit. Abby's struggle is more than romantic, it's psychological. Having lived through trauma, recovery, and motherhood, she knows what's at stake. Her love for Kevin is real, built on shared hardship, stability, and the foundation of family. It might lack the thrill of her encounters with Carl, but it's the kind of love that saves lives. Quiet, dependable, imperfect, but healing. Kevin, Jack, and Alfie, they're her world, Sally continues. But Carl? He's just so delicious and exciting. It's the eternal push and pull between comfort and chaos. Between the man who represents safety, and the man who brings danger. For Abby, who once thrived on adrenaline, Carl's presence threatens to unravel the life she's fought so hard to build. Carl. A dangerous distraction. So what exactly is it about Carl that pulls Abby in like a moth to flame? He's magnetic, Sally says. They had an instant spark that was purely physical at first, but now that she's seeing him interact with Debbie, and witnessing his vulnerability, she's beginning to see him as more than just a one-night temptation. Carl's charisma is undeniable. Tall, composed, assertive, and mysterious, he's the type who enters a room and shifts the air. But there's more lurking beneath the surface: regret, secrets, maybe even a desire to reform. He plays the part of the devil with a conscience, and that makes him all the more dangerous to someone like Abby. Who should Abby choose? In the eyes of most fans, and indeed, Sally herself, Kevin is the obvious choice. She'd be much better staying with Kevin, Sally admits. He's the one who's stood by her through the worst. He's given her countless chances, and together they've built a life. But Abby isn't a straightforward character. Her emotional compass doesn't always point north. That's what makes her both maddening and magnetic to watch. She is as likely to self-destruct as she is to flourish. And therein lies the challenge, and the beauty, of portraying her. Abby is Abby, Sally says with a knowing smile. She'll dive straight into Carl. It's this unpredictability that has kept viewers riveted to Abby's story for years. She's capable of immense love and devastating choices, sometimes at the same time. Sally's joy in playing conflict. One thing's certain: Sally Carman relishes the opportunity to explore Abby's flaws. I love it when Abby's behaving badly, she says. As an actor, that's what you want: the messy, complicated stuff. The bits that really get under your skin. And I've been lucky to work with some brilliant people on this storyline. It's dead easy when you've got that kind of chemistry on set. Indeed, Sally's performance has consistently drawn praise for its depth and nuance. She never plays Abby as a victim or a villain, but as a layered, haunted, and ultimately human woman. Her portrayal adds texture and truth to the script, making Abby one of the most authentic characters on the cobbles. It's the best job in the world, Sally beams. And I know I say that all the time, but it's true. What comes next? As the storyline heats up, questions loom large. Will Abby act on her feelings? Will Carl push her over the edge? And what happens if Kevin finds out? Soap fans know that Coronation Street thrives on slow-burning suspense and gut-wrenching twists. If Abby does take that step toward Carl, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for her marriage, but for her family, her reputation, and her already fragile recovery. But perhaps the most compelling question isn't whether she'll cheat, but why. Is it loneliness? Emotional abandonment while Kevin focuses on his health? Or is Carl simply the spark that reignites a part of herself she thought she'd buried? A deep dive into Abby's psychology. To understand Abby's motivations, we have to look at her past. A former drug addict, Abby has lived through abandonment, loss, and shame. Her self-worth has always been a point of conflict. So when someone like Carl pays attention, makes her feel wanted, it's intoxicating. It's the kind of attention that whispers, "You matter." But even as her body pulls her toward Carl, her conscience screams in protest. And that inner war, the addict versus the survivor, is where the real drama lies. Coronation Street has always done an excellent job of portraying addiction not as a moral failing, but as a lifelong struggle. Abby's story reminds us that even those who look put together on the outside may still be fighting unseen battles every day. The role of the audience. What's especially fascinating about this storyline is how polarizing it could become among fans. Some viewers will root for Abby and Carl, swept up in the fantasy of forbidden love. Others will be devastated at the thought of her betraying Kevin, who has become something of a saint in the face of illness and emotional strain. The audience's reaction is part of what makes soaps such a powerful medium. These characters aren't just faces on a screen, they're mirrors. And in Abby's conflict, many viewers will see reflections of their own struggles with loyalty, desire, regret, and choice. Final thoughts. What does the future hold? As Sally Carman continues to navigate the emotional maze that is Abby Webster, one thing is certain. The road ahead will be anything but smooth. With Kevin's health hanging in the balance, Debbie's condition worsening, and Carl circling ever closer, Abby stands at a crossroads. One path leads to chaos, the other to commitment. And knowing Abby, she might try to walk both for as long as she can. Whether she falls into Carl's arms or stands by her husband, the fallout will shape her story for months, if not years, to come. And for Sally Carman, it's exactly where she wants to be, in the middle of the storm, playing one of the most complex women on television today.